Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning market report. Why am I so low? I feel like I'm so low here. I'm getting low. Guys, Bitcoin fighting to get above that resistance level right there. Continuing to the upside, getting a small pullback on the 4-hour. It looks like the NASDAQ opening up to the downside today. Gold's pulling back. Russell 2000's pulling back. It looks like the S&P and the Dow both in the green, though, slightly to the upside. Guys, are we going to see a long squeeze on Bitcoin? There's an analyst out there that's worried about that. We're going to be taking a look at that chart. We're going to look at the news. We're going to look at what happened with FOMC yesterday after that rate cut that they got, what that means for markets in the future. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's Friday. Let's get it, guys. Class is in session. Good morning and welcome to the number one show on Piper Academy. It's the morning market report, but I don't do the show alone. I got a co-host. Actually, it's right there, OC guy. Wait, I got another co-host. It's right there. It's TradeFly. Yeah. Oh, wait. But wait, there's more. It's Friday. It's a four-man show. We got the entire panel here, the entire co-host team of the number two show on Piper Academy, the Crypto Nightcap, TradeFly, and FD White in the house with OC and I. Welcome, guys. It's Friday. Let's get it. TradeFly, we'll start with you. What's going on, dude? How's your week been? You've been cranking out the numbers over there on the Crypto Nightcap. I gotta be honest. You're crushing it over there. You and FD White are running the nighttime show, bro.
We are, man. It's been awesome. And again, we had a big thank you to everyone that was watching last night. And I'll reiterate that this morning. If you guys are tuning into the nightcap, thank you very much. We do appreciate you. Numbers have been phenomenal. Me and FD really have a good vibe going. So it feels good. I mean, we put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's nice to really start seeing that return. I do know that some of that has to do with Bitcoin being as high as it is right now. Some of retail's jumping back in. This is it. We're starting to flow people back in. But, with that being said, you got to be careful, right? Start thinking about how you're going to realize some of those gains, some of those profits. Start thinking about, having an exit strategy. How are you going to work around that in terms of what fits your style and your goals? And, that's kind of my message to everyone right now with where we're at in the market. That being said, let's do the fun stuff. You know what I like to do. I like to go over to the chat, say what's up to everybody first. That is what is important to us. And he's in here. Username, my dude. I got you, dog.
Freaking laser beams attached to their head.
That's for you, dog. And
yeah, he also called you out for no plant, just so you know. No plant.
Just so you know, that will be here next time I'm on the show. We did have this discussion pre-show. It's just we didn't have time to get the new the background updated. It takes time, man. All right, so Ninja Glock, what's up? Kyle Fields with a yo, how you doing? BC Port Corp, what's up, my dude? They're running that pre-morning show. They are doing good things as well. Bit New Window, what is up? What is up? Alexander G, the best mod in the house. We love you, long time lady. Hope all is well. All right, scrolling down here. Average Joe, correction. Average Crypto Joe, what's up? Good morning to everybody. How are you? Crypto Chef in the house. How you doing? He's been nightcap quite a bit here recently, so good to see you here as well. Max H is in the house. How you doing? Let's see. Scrolling down, bro. Koshi No Dinero, GM fam, GM to you as well. Harp's in the house. How you doing? We got we are destined for a big matchup between the Eagles and the Commanders. I always want to say the Redskins, but the Commanders. It's coming up. It's coming soon, man. It's gonna be a showdown. Top two teams in the NFC East right now. Museum of Corruption. How you doing? And let's see, Athos, my dude, my man. We were just playing golf yesterday. He's in the house. How you doing, brother? Whoa, all right. Live chat just popped on me. There it went. Got to scroll up a little bit now. You guys are lowing this morning. All right, let's go. He said, happy Friday. Happy Friday, Arson246. How you doing? It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a minute. Let's see here. He said, man, TradeFly is here. I am shocked he was able to make it on time. That's from username. Hey, be easy over there, man. You're always talking that smack. All right, DubeTube, how you doing? What's up? Little Fish is in here. And Alexandra G, a $20 super chat. Love my Piper Academy family. We love you too. Thank you very, very much. Your generosity is very much appreciated. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And truly, we mean that. Retro Mike Tech with a $4.99 super chat. TradeFly and FD brought in the big guns. I see Team Banana Land. You know it. That is one of my crutch words. Is Banana Land. So we might have to change up one of my emojis. It's gonna have to be something with bananas because that is something I default to. All right, Silver Days XRP. What is up? Smash a like and subscribe. Please do that. We would appreciate it. Thank you very much. OC guy, of course, is in here, and he's just to my, we'll say, left right now because I am flipped. All right, let's see. Let's scrolling. I think I got everyone there. Good morning to everyone. Hope all is well. I will pass it on over to the next guy.
And I got your background fixed. Your background is right. You now have a plant. Username, you can suck it, bro. No. That's not the username, man.
Cream of the crop.
Let's go.
Does it better.
FD White, man, what's going on with you? You've got some things moving, don't you? You got some things moving every day, but you got some big things moving. I don't know if you want to put anything out about that, but people don't really get updates on what's going on with FD White. They just know that you've got everything in the world going on. So what's been going on with you, man?
Oh man, nothing, man. I can't complain. Just working and trying to stay busy in the crypto space, man. So we do have some big things coming. I don't know what you're talking about because I got a few big things going on, but we do have some more channels that we're going to be going on, and we do have some more partnerships that we're going to be going on, and we're gonna funnel them back to the Piper Academy. And then we'll keep it going. Yeah.
You guys don't realize that FD White, he out there making moves. He out there making gangsta moves in the crypto space right now. So all for the love of the brand of FD White Invest and for the love of the Academy. So you guys don't know it, but it's coming. It's big stuff moving. FD White's working it. We appreciate everything you do, FD White, man. You are absolutely a member of this Academy family. So we are glad to have you here. OC.
Thank you.
It's just another day for us. It's Friday. We're here every day. If you're wondering why TradeFly was able to start on time today, it's because the first sergeant was running the ship, and this thing starts on time. Okay, let's go. So, OC, how you doing today, man?
By the way, with his 29-minute and 30-second arrivals,
I still had him done on time. Still had to throw me curveballs. This is what I do. I'm a first sergeant. I operate under chaos. OC, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, today in the morning was such a great talk. If you don't know, guys, I always kind of wake in the morning, go make my coffee, but I got earbuds here, so I hear everybody talking around it. And it was a little bit of a funny thing because you see my house in here. Well, that's not a real house. That's a CGI picture. But what? I make it paired to my actual stairs right behind me. So Piper was, hey, he's walking up the stairs when I was walking on, and that
totally tripped me out, bro.
I was just cracking out, brother.
That totally tripped me out. Let's go ahead and jump into the news. I got a couple of things.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
Go.
Okay. Let's jump into the news. I got a couple. Let's jump into the news. I got a couple of things to lay out here, and then we're going to look at this Bitcoin chart. And plus, big question today, guys. Is there a long squeeze coming on Bitcoin? That's what one analyst is talking about. We're going to take a look at that and see how that is looking. Still holding the Piper Bull in the house. But, guys, Piper Bear, I'm wearing the red shirt. I'm wearing the red shirt today. So Piper Bear is hiding right around the corner. We're going to take a look at this article, take a look at the chart, and see where that pullback is at. Looking at those levels of support. Let's jump over into the news. They'll knock this out, and we'll be right back with everyone else here in just a moment. Let me go ahead and get my screen resized there. There we go. Get rid of that white. Perfect. There we go. All right. So looking at the market cap here, guys, sitting currently at $2.68 trillion, up 2.51% on the market cap of total crypto. Volume for the last 24 hours is down about 7.6%, getting a little bit of a sell-off. Let's jump over here and take a look at that fear and greed index. We're sitting at 75. We are in greed, just under extreme greed, guys. So, you know what that means? That typically means you might want to look at taking a little bit of profit unless you're in this for the long haul, and then you just look for some more entries. That's what I'm doing right now. So let's jump over here to the crypto bubbles, give it a refreshy fresh. let it all lay out there. On the daily, guys, poll up 10.8%. Arweave, we talked about this early in the week on that all-time high chart. It was one of those things that could really pop off. We talked about ADA. That was on that list. They're really far off from its all-time high, has a lot of potential for upside movement, up 20.6%. Kronos, that's the native token to crypto.com. We talked about that one on that list. It is up 26.9%. Let's just drop down. Grass, guys. Evidently, Grass doing really well right now. So I'm guessing, I don't know. Somebody let me know in the chat what the utility purposes of this, but it makes me think that it's a tokenized weed play. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if anyone knows anything on that. But looking at Bitcoin here, why are you freezing up on me? There we go. Looking at Bitcoin here, 75,963 is what we're looking at right now, up 1.7 on the daily. Ethereum, just under that $3,000 mark. I'm going to be taking a look at that chart today. We have a very, very important diagonal resistance sitting right there around that $3,000 mark, up 5% on the daily. We got Solana up 8.2% on the daily, breaking that $200 mark, guys. We talked about that breakout flag a week and a half ago that we were pushing up against, and that a breakout on that could see a multi 100% move on Solana. So 8.2% on the daily. It looks like it's the beginning of that. So what else? 5.6% on Doge. Shout out to FD White. Cardano, guys, 20.5%. Still sitting at number 9 right there. On that is at 44.87 cents. Let's see here. Avalanche, we talked about that one, 6.6%. That was in that all-time high list that we were saying, look, these are tokens you should be looking at. They're far off from the all-time high. They're at the bottom of this barrel, and they're good projects. Another one of those was Chainlink, up 9.1%. So, okay, take away my 0.1. It's at 9% now. We just had a change on that. I think that's about it for the top 20 for big movers here. I mean, we had Polkadot up, which was also on that list too, 7.2%, and then Near Protocol up 5.7. Any crazy movers in here besides Grass? I'm not seeing any. 10.2 on Injective. 13.5 on Jupiter, and Pyth, which is that Chainlink competitor, guys. It's an Oracle token, 12.7%. Economic calendar, this is going to be coming out at the top of the hour. Michigan consumer sentiment. This is a good indicator of how the country feels about the economy and feels about the future of how their money is going to be doing in the United States. It's a consumer sentiment, right? Previously was ranked at 70.5 points. Consensus is that it will be higher at 71, forecasted to be 0.1% higher. We'll get that at the top of the hour. We'll come back and check on that. I wanted to look in here, though, tell you guys this, just show you what's going on. Bitcoin ETFs bought $1.4 billion worth of Bitcoin yesterday, the highest ever since the launch. We are so back. Now, when does retail start buying, guys? I told you retail starts buying after they've missed all the areas that we were buying Bitcoin at. So retail was not buying. They were not buying $50,000 Bitcoin like TradeFly. There you go. The majority will wait until it's at 78, 80,000, and it'll be like, oh my God, I missed out. And then that run in starts the parabolic launch. We're not even at that part. Like I showed you guys this week, we're 47.5% of the way into the bull market. That's it. Not even at the halfway mark. Patience. So I want to talk about this. I think I might if we have time, but since we got 4 people on the show, I'm not going to show that. That is all about TradeFly's laying there, so I'm not going to take that thunder from them. But guys, let's talk about the election parties, okay? Because we've got pretty much a clean sweep across the board going on with the Republican Party. Almost confirmed all of them now, all 3 branches. This is what happened when one party dominated the presidency. The House, the Senate and the House recommend holding assets replicating the Dow Jones Industrial Average due to Trump's election victory and the Republican control of the Senate and possibly the House. Historical data shows a split Congress yields higher equity returns, about 14.5% on stock market, compared to a single party dominance of about 11%. I'm not going to go too deep into this of what they're telling you to look at on holding for Dow Jones like type things, but the current valuation of the Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF at 19.6 times earnings offers no margin of safety, suggesting a hold rather than a buy right now. Let's just jump back over to quad cam and let's talk about this. So we're seeing a 14.5% on a split government, right? But when a single party has dominance, comparing it to when Trump had a nice majority, didn't have it all, but a nice majority back in 2016, 11% run. I'll take an 11% run on the stock market when I know what the crypto does in comparison to it. But I'd like to go around the table here, ask you guys, what are your thoughts? Do you think that we're going to do better this cycle because of where we've been, unburdened by where we've been? Or do you think that we're going to see a repeat where we could have done better if there was a break of dominance between Republicans and Democrats? What's your thoughts? Does this still hold true, or are we going to get better than average returns because of the change of the hierarchy?
Who are we going with first?
We'll go with you first, Trey Fly.
All right. So I'm very split on this. There's a couple things. There's a couple factors, right? Where are we at in the cycle, right? I don't think we've still hit what they call the parabolic run yet. I think that's still out there for the grabbing. Issue is we have now set a new all-time high. So if you go back and you start looking at the charts, setting all-time high, usually there's going to be a little bit of retracement. There's a timing aspect to this. The other thing is that we now have a pro-crypto president. We have a lot of pro-crypto elected officials on top of it. So that should open up the doors a little bit for some positive price action. You have institutional investment. You did not have that 4 years ago. You have regulation that's coming in. So we're going to start getting some clear or more clear guidance, we'll say. You didn't have that before. And you have adoption officially is here. There's no more debate. There's no more discussion. 4 years ago, we're still screaming like we're hoping for adoption. We're hoping for utility. That's gone. That's a thing of the past. That's done. That's here. We have it. Now we're starting to talk about newer, bigger, better things. And that's when I'm talking about regulation and seeing some of those aspects start to flow into the space. So for me, still bullish. I'm still bullish. Now, when BlackRock starts selling or BlackRock gets out of the game, which is, I don't think anywhere in the near future, but when they start saying, hey, it's time for us to rotate into something different, that's when you know that the market has probably been saturated to the point it is no longer profitable for them to be in the business. And that's when you really need to start saying, all right, where am I going to start taking my profits too? But it may be a little bit late, right? At that point, when they start their sell-off, or if they sell off anytime soon, it's, again, I don't think that's happening. You're going to be behind the curve a little bit, but at the same time, those are some of the things you need to start looking for. When they start rotating out, is, I think, going to be a signal for us that it's probably time for us to rotate out as well, or start looking at something else. Because remember, there's always going to be a new technology. There's always going to be something new. It's nonstop, right? Bitcoin didn't exist. Now it does. Yep. So that's kind of the hotness right now, and you jump on what's hot. And so that's kind of my feelings. I think it does open up the door for positive price action. And I think that when you start talking about realistic projections, like getting up to 88, 90K, it's within reach. It's very much within reach. And we can do that probably within the next year. Are we going to go parabolic and go up to 100K? I don't know that the institutions really want that, because they still want you to buy Bitcoin, right? So you don't want to inflate the price too far to make it like, oh, okay, well, Bitcoin's at 100K. That seems a little silly. Maybe I'll buy Doge. They don't have a Doge ETF, right? So there is some incentive there to keep the price somewhat realistic for you as retail, so that you still are willing to buy and invest in it, thinking that you'll get a return on that investment. Because think about it now, Bitcoin is no longer what it used to be, in terms of like, hey, it's used for transactions between peer-to-peer individuals. It's decentralized. It takes out the middleman. No, that's not why people are looking at Bitcoin anymore. People are now looking at Bitcoin as a straight investment. All right. And you need to think about that when you really get into Bitcoin now. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. I think you reached inside my brain there and picked out exactly where my stance was, because you were all over that one.
I've been working with you for a little while now, Piper.
Just a hot minute. FD White, your thoughts? Are we going to see? Are we going to see this? Would we have seen a better Bitcoin with a broken, a non-dominated government of one of the democratically held branches, and then Republicans for the other two. Which one do you think we would have been better to see gains? I think we're going to see it either way, but which one do you think would have been better? Yeah.
You know what? I'm not sure because I think, I mean, it's going to do well either way it goes, but I haven't done like my due diligence on, okay, are Republican, but this is what it seems like. It seems like a lot more Republicans are more open to the, crypto, than Democrats. And don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but the ones that are like in the forefront, a lot of them are Republicans. So it seems like if we have a majority of Republican, in all these different sectors and all these, the House, Senate, Congress, all that, it would seem like if the majority of the people who are pro crypto are Republican, then it would seem like that would make the, Bitcoin, crypto, and the whole space, pump a lot more. So that I can't really, get into it too much, but that's just from a critical thinking standpoint. That's what the conclusion that I would come up with.
Yeah, just to put this in perspective, I'm going to jump over here and show this real fast. We'll come back and get OC's take before we jump into the Bitcoin chart. But with a dominance of a single party, just so you guys know, with a split party, 14.5% on average for the stock market right there. 11% with a Republican controlled, only 6.7 with Democrats. So already we're at the second best scenario. But I honestly think that this split, I think that the Republican control of this second one here is going to outperform what a split would look like, just because of the change of the economic environment and what it is currently to what the potential is under the super team. I mean, you got RFK, you've got you've got Elon Musk. Like, they put together a super team to take on what's going on with the economy and the war. So I think that we're going to outperform.
One more thing, Piper. You said with the super team, like the people who are at the front, like you said, Elon Musk, RFK, the vice president, these are all super pro crypto people. So just that alone is going to propel us.
Yep. I see OC polished up his tinfoil hat. He's ready to go. OC, your thoughts on this, and then we'll get into the Bitcoin chart, bro.
Oh man, yeah. Things are getting real, guys. So I'm putting my tinfoil hat here because I'm gonna be going to something that falls a little bit outside the actual technical analysis, but it's just tied so bondly to let's just say conspiracy theory that it's just mind blowing. So let me ask let me answer your question both. Is Bitcoin gonna be great again? Yes, I think so. But also at the same time, I don't think that it's gonna have its major potential as we see it. Here's a couple of things that I need to set up on the table before we move out. Economy, how is economy doing? Right, we've been just complaining about it over and over and over. Right, that every numbers have been manipulated. We keep pushing the bubble. Right, so what are we expecting on that side? Another thing, it is love it. And the next thing, it is that who just got elected, right? I mean, we seen in Tradefly and I have talked about this and agree that maybe the guy that got elected, it is divisive, right? But also I mentioned that we did not elect him, or not we. Well, you guys did not elect him just on how he does speeches, but what he's good for, right? At this point, I believe that you guys are seeing him as a CEO of the greatest company out there, right? Biggest company out there, right? And you guys are expecting it to fix the issues, regardless whatever his speech is, right? As long as he gets between some boundaries, we're expecting to say that. And I want to refer back to Milei from Argentina. The first thing he got on stage, he got a chainsaw, right? And he said, "Viva la libertad, carajo." Well, we're gonna get demonetized. Sorry for that. Which is "Viva the liberty and freedom," right? But what he next said, he said, "We have no money," right? And guys, have you seen the debt of the states? Dude, I don't know if that's timing. If that
we all know how much debt we have in the States.
Yes, exactly. So if we start seeing intelligent people knowing how to manage business, what an intelligent CEO would do. I'm just gonna put out there what CEO did with, I mean, what, sorry, Elon Musk as CEO of Twitter start doing, cutting out, like exactly, micro stuff that just drain out of the company. And when we're talking about public money, I think that is a must. Piper, could you possibly throw it back to my screen? I'm gonna try to be as quick as possible. All right, guys. This is The Economist, right? The Economist world. This was before Mexico's election. Let me zoom into this one. We all were expecting something. Guess who won? The Mexican president. This is so shocking because
OC,
she
is
did
that
not
you?
have this profile.
Is that you on that picture on the left?
Man, I wish, but no. You know who I think it is. And I'm kind of
It's Ukraine president, but yeah, it looks like you.
Yes, exactly. Kind of. I mean, I was saying when I saw this, hey, mom, look at that. I'm gonna be a revolutionary guy here. And she said, he just laughed out loud. Man, well, yeah, when your mother laughed at it, well then you get your answer, right? But still, I'm pretty happy where I am here. All right. Now going to the tinfoil hat, look at what is it right now on Mexico. We have a crazy instability. Look at the war thing here, right? Going for the blue. Just think about Republicans and Democrats at this point. This is not the same, but let's just say red and I don't know, and red and blue, but just inverted, right? Just so you have an idea. So and then who's supporting? We are kind of like maybe we could be supporting this guy. In the other way around, we start talking about, I mean, he just got elected. He haven't even touched the presidency or the office. And Piper, would you remind me what just happened right now all over the globe? I mean,
if you guys don't know,
right?
within 24 hours of Trump winning, Hamas called for a ceasefire and peace in the Middle East, and Putin said, I think that we need to start looking at, how to end all of this turmoil going on, because everyone realized that the FAFO president just got elected, and he said, I'm coming. When I sit down at the table, we're going to have a different conversation. And everybody went, we were just playing for the last 4 years, bro. But yeah, let's go back to your thing, OG.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Guys, so this is getting, man, I'm actually kind of like getting the goosebumps here. I'm going to speed this thing up in here, right? Time is running out. By the way, guys, I'm not saying that this is predicting the future. I'm just saying that they're getting things right, all right? And we just had the elections, and this is when things start worrying me. I mean, we all know that the current elected president has good relationships with Russia, right? Maybe in this time we can turn Russia's president maybe not to be a completely Democrat, right? Or democracy, sorry, not Democrat, democracy. And maybe the states could start working along another power thing, right? Which is, I think that would be amazing. Imagine that. Both of the greatest power out there in the world working together, right? I mean, that'll be great. What worries me is that we're turning red and supporting maybe the wrong side here, right? So, guys, if you're starting to use bombs, please look the other way around, not here. But let's also go here. Time is running out. Votations are, or voting has been right now. The elections has been right now. The topic is talking. And here's the thing that worries me. What is here, right? What is it here? What is it here? What is it here? And what are we seeing, right? I'm not saying that this is going to be a reality. I'm not even going to be talking about this with this image here. But we've been talking about it. And can we remove this image so I don't feel that goosebumps? Oh man, we might be talking a flip of currency here, right? You see those question mark symbols. You see all of the currency, all of the fiat with question marks, and we see a big dump. All right. So have we been talking about economy being, pushing some numbers? Maybe just like Milei, we could be having a responsible CEO saying, guys, things are F up, all right? Things are F up, and a little bit of pain we might need to do to cut out, like the rotten arm. So would you rather have a rotten arm and then keep going onto your bloodstream, right? Or cut it away right away and then start getting better and move on with your life, right? I don't know. That's what I'm throwing that out there. I think that is a big one here, and that's why I needed to polish it. And just to wrap it up, a big economic crash will also impact on Bitcoin. But we'll see maybe if, God, please hear me out here, if maybe we can get the states adopt Bitcoin, might be the way out for fiat. And I'm just taking that comment out of my sleeve. All right, I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah, and let me throw it back to you because I know
I think
I'm holding you
I think
up
that's
back.
a perfect, and I think that's a perfect reason to look at that. I think that we may do better under this completely dominated government than what we would have with they split three branches, right? The reason being is that right there. He has talked about making Bitcoin part of the Treasury reserves. And we now have the power across the government. If we do land the third branch, it's still tossed up, but as of right now, it looks like that is the case. We do have the authority, all three branches, to sign off on that happening, which could be even more bullish for Bitcoin. The U.S. dollar already controls 49% of all global transactions, according to a recent SWIFT report. And when you look at that, very strong currency, still in high demand all across the planet. If we put Bitcoin into the Treasury reserves, all we're doing is strengthening that dollar even more, which is going to make people very bullish on Bitcoin. So I do see that we do have that coming. Guys, we just got that data in. Let's jump over to that and let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart, and then let's get into some market news, some market data on TA. Jumping over here, guys, Michigan consumer sentiment. What's that?
Yeah. Just wanted to say, before everything else, just like yesterday, guys, folks, you heard it here first, folks, right? Bitcoin is not going to zero. So let me put this for the out there. If I'm wrong, I'll be wrong. But if we're right, you heard it here first, folks. That's it.
Yes, Bitcoin is not going to zero, but it might be in a long squeeze. We're going to look at that. Guys, Michigan consumer sentiment came in at 73. Previously was at 70.5. We needed to hit 71 or 70.6. That both higher than what it was previously. Guys, it came in at 73. That is a good sign for the economy. The market should get some type of turnaround on this and get a little bump. 10-year yield is down to 4.28% right now, dropping. The NASDAQ is now up. The S&P is up. The Russell 2000 is up. We're starting to get a market flip around on this data. It was pretty neutral up to that point. Let's go ahead and jump into the Bitcoin chart, see what's happening here. Yesterday in our community, we were talking about this level, and we talked about it in TA 101. I said, look, we are hitting a diagonal resistance here on Bitcoin on the 4-hour, but we have a fair value gap. If we actually put this on the daily and do a little bit more top down, guys, we have a fair value gap coming in off of the Market Dynamics Pro from Chart Prime. As soon as it loads in, you will see it. But we have that fair value gap coming in. I'll just go ahead and show you. It's going to be from, this is how you measure them, guys. From the wick at the top of the previous candle to the wick there. That is our fair value gap. And I don't know why this isn't loading in on the, there we go. This one to load. Let's get this going in. You'll see the fair value gap printing right here. At the top of this fair value gap, we do have the 887. That is going to be the top of the platinum pocket. This is the level that I'm watching to hold. Worst case scenario, I do have this previous support area back here coming in at 72,736. So with that fair value gap sitting right there, that the 887 of the platinum pocket sitting there, and that 72,734, we've got some pretty strong area of support here. I don't see that it's going to go down too far. We are sitting oversold here on the daily on the Oscillator Pro, but we can print these off all the way across the top here. Let me find one back. Yeah, you can see here, we can print these and continue to pump even harder for quite a while on the daily, but not even getting close to being too far up on this green oscillator ribbon. True 7 still has a way to go up, and money flow is looking green. I will point out that we do have a small little deflation here on the volume matrix. So volume is slowing down a little bit, but that's just a little consolidation flag that we got going on here. Let's kick it over to TradeFly because I know he's got that beautiful heat map going for us. And let's see what levels he's looking at there. But again, I'm watching for about 72,500 on the downside if we do get a pullback move. TradeFly, what you seeing, bro?
All right, so we got the liquidation heat map on the daily. We're going to start here. We're zoomed out. So I'm on the monthly. Sorry, I said the daily. The monthly. All right, we're looking at the monthly right now, and there's a really hot spot. There's more than $1 billion worth of liquidity sitting down at about 64,650. That's kind of the starting point, and then it goes down to about 64,4. All right, so let's mark that, and I've already done that on the chart, so we'll get there in a second. And then let's look at the 3-day. All right, let's see kind of what's close to us. Now, understand that the basis, when I zoom out and I look at these on a longer time frame, that is where I start looking at some of my swing trades and entering into those. All right, so that's how we went to the 50K one. That was really the basis of my entry, on top of keeping bullish structure and a previous range. But we'll look at this in a second here. All right, on the 3-day chart, your liquidity is to the top side. You guys are a glutton for punishment. People are coming in here. I'm going to say this is more retail than institutional investments. People are taking leverage short positions. They're going to get liquidated here in this area, as well as people have stop losses. And you can see this happening over and over again. Now, these lighten up as time goes on. So understand that this was hot, and we kind of talked about these areas. This one happened live. I can't remember which show it was on, but we were like, all right, we're talking about this. We're seeing a trend. And I was like, all right, trend is going up. Liquidity sitting up here. Don't be surprised to see a wick. Sure enough, during the show, within like 20-30 minutes, it went up, cleared out that liquidity. This was much, much hotter, but now you're seeing where liquidity is building up. Key here, what I would look for is when this cools off, okay? Especially when you're getting in the 3-day and you're taking intraday or scalping type trades, you want to see a cool off, all right? You see where it's dark up here at about 78K? If this comes up, this gets cleared out, this liquidity gets cleared out, and then you don't see any more liquidity come in, they've been beaten into submission. All right, that would be my signal for a reversal. If you're just using the liquidity map to trade with, I don't recommend that. But at the same time, it is a very strong indication that, okay, now that we've cooled off, there's no real reason for the exchanges to try to move the price up and grab that liquidity ultimately before coming back down and trying to grab some of the liquidity to the downside. All right, this is a major factor, and you're going to see more and more content creators using this map. All you got to do is watch a little bit. It's popping up everywhere. Because we have had a lot of success with it on this show. I would say we were probably, trendsetters in terms of mainstream content creators, like coming and using this every single day as a piece of the analysis. All right, so let's go to the charts now. All right, looking at it the Bitcoin on the daily. All right, here is our area, right? We said there's a lot of liquidity here at about 64.6, 64.4, I think it was. Maybe it was 64.8. All right, and now let's look back on the chart and let's see, like, okay, do we have some very clear support and resistance? Well, we do. It's very, very interesting, right? Look at here. You see a very clear support, very clear resistance, breaks through, comes down, breaks down, retest, breakdown. All right, that's one thing that I always look for when I'm looking for significant areas of horizontal support and resistance. Again, you see, nice wick off of it, trying to maintain this as support. Big breakdown again. That's 2 big breakdowns. Just looking at it right here. This one's clear as day. You don't get much more clear than this. Look at the struggle right here. So you come back and you look at the price action. It's like, all right, resistance, 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 breakout. It did actually pop up there for a minute. Look at this, retest, breakdown again. That's 3. All right, 3 times we've interacted with this level. That means it's significant to me. All right, so that's good enough for me to mark that on my chart. Understand there's a range. It's not perfect. Don't say, hey, 64,575 is where it's going to go to. Not saying that, but this area, that would be a nice area to think about a long position. Why do I think about it as a long position? Well, you do have the dynamic reactor working its way up. If that levels off, like if we get a cool off in price, this will level off, and then you have confluence there as well. All right, so this is a key area. Mark this on your charts. Not saying anything's going to happen with this area, but mark it on your charts. All right, and again, what's the basis for that? Just to kind of like tie this back in, is the liquidity. All right, 1 month chart. Let's see if it loads. There it is. All right, 64,750, 64,550, somewhere in that area. It makes a lot of sense for price action to ultimately at some point revisit this. Now, this is a way to get ahead of price action. There's not many things that you can do on a chart that are predictive in nature. Most things that you look at, especially when you're talking about indicators and oscillators, most of those are reactive. All right, they are reacting to the price action to then show you a visual depiction of what's actually happening. Okay, this is predictive. All right, you know where the liquidity is sitting, you know where the support level is sitting, and this way you can get ahead of it. It's no harm in putting an alert or even putting a limit position, which is a lot of times what I do as a swing trader, just saying, hey, if the price comes down to this area, I'm going to jump on it. And I'll look for a little bit of price action in that area, probably in the positive side. But you also have to be careful and realize that, hey, if price continues to dump, make sure you have a stop loss. All right, protect yourself. Now, one thing you got to be careful with that, and you got to really stay on this, is because sometimes you will see a cascading effect. Once price action starts coming down, you get things like this. You see right here. All right, that's that cascading effect, right? It got weird real quick, but then this right here showed you there is buying pressure out the wazoo here. We never actually closed underneath of that channel on the weekly, but you saw the buying pressure come in. Now see previous range, right? So that's all tied in to the 50K analysis. We have to now find something on the charts that is like that. We're starting to find that at about 64.5. That's where the liquidity is really building. I don't think that they will let price action totally run away without grabbing that liquidity on the way up. It makes sense. It's a stair step on the way up. 50K, that was a stair step. It still kept bullish structure. Now we're starting to look at this 64.5. That's a stair step. Still keeps bullish structure. So I think it's reachable. And it's only 10K away. We've seen that in a day before, back 2-3 years ago. I don't know that we'll see that now with institutional investment, because I think that's going to keep things a little bit more benign, right? I don't think we're going to have these huge, massive wick kind of days. But I think that it's definitely within play. I think it's an area to look at. What are some of your obvious areas here on the chart? Obviously, you have what our new all-time high is, but I also have the old all-time high. I'm not taking that off the chart yet. The reason I'm not taking off the chart is because we haven't really officially retested this area. All right, so we should at some point get that OC retest where we take what was resistance, flip it into support, and then you get a little bit more confident in continuation up and right, ultimately for a retest of what our new all-time high is. All right, so there's a couple key levels that I'm looking for on Bitcoin, and I will pass it on to the next guy.
FDY, what you got on your chart, bro? Let's keep it short on the Bitcoin unless you guys see something major different from the two of us, because I do want to have time to get into some alts. But what are you seeing on your chart right now, FD?
So basically, I'm in confluence with what you guys said, but I just came to my came to it. I don't think that's my chart. Let me see. Is my chart up or?
Yeah,
is that not your chart?
That's mine.
Yeah, it's not your chart.
Yeah, that was TradeFly. Yep, TradeFly's chart. But well, I can get started and then we can get over to mine. Mine is the blue chart, the blue background chart. So Bitcoin right now, I'm looking at some horizontals. And I'm looking at some. I'm also looking at some horizontals that we have and some upper sloping trend lines. I'm zoomed in to the 1 hour, and I also have this 3D trend. Shout out to Chart Prime, man. I don't think this is out yet. This is like beta, but it's been spot on. I've been using this a lot lately to get a lot of my confluence when it comes to support and resistance. And I'm looking at Bitcoin. This is on the hourly. So Piper said he was looking for possibly a worst case scenario retrace to about 72,835. And I got that same thing. We have this pattern. Let me actually change this so we can decipher this a little bit better. So we'll make this a dotted line so you guys can see this a little bit better. So we have this trend, that's this triangle that we've been in, just making these higher highs, higher lows. Now we just broke this, starting to retest this this high back here, which is coming in confluence with the upper sloping trend line, starting at about 75.7. And then I got this price movement from this, just an old school measured move trick. So I pulled that from the bottom to the top. Took this. If we break down, where are we going? We're going right here to this green bar at about 72,790 or 780 is what I have. But we do have a couple stops before that. We do have this horizontal coming in at about 75K. And then we do have, like I said, the 3D trend coming in, which is which is coming in right there too at about 75K. So that's two areas of confluence. I'll be looking for maybe a short-term bounce. But if we did get down to this 73 or this 72,800, 72,700 area, this where I would, open my major long, because this is the most, this is the move that I would be looking for after, this move is completed, or this down move is completed, if we even get there. But I'm not looking into the 60s yet. I think 69 to 70K must hold. Like, that's the one that we really need to hold. That's the area that we really need to continue. The kids have just woken up, if you hear them. That's the area that we really need to hold, because that's, like Trey Fly said, that all-time high of 2021. So until as long as we're above there, like everything else, I'm just zoomed in and trying to catch these short-term moves. And I think we're going to go a lot higher, but I think it is a cool-off period. Even if you look at the volume, we can see the volume starting to taper off a little bit. And if we pull up Chart Prime Oscillator Pro, we can see money flow is still pretty strong on the hourly and curving up. And then we do have, like I said, the volume actually coming down. So I'm looking to go sideways here for a minute, unless the market makers want to come in and get some type of liquidity grab. But for the most part, everything is still looking pretty good, still looking pretty bullish. And until we get down to those levels, I'm kind of sitting on my hands right now.
Nice. OC, we had a request for Moonwell. So if you can prep that, I just want to show one quick thing here on the chart that I'm seeing. Has to do with the liquidity levels that TradeFly was looking at on the heat map, and then also what FD White was just talking about for that $72,800 range. But if you can get Moonwell ready, we'll come back and we'll start with you doing some alts, and so we can get some of those working in. Guys, looking here real fast, this is one of the indicators from Chart Prime's Market Dynamics Pro. What it's called, it is called the liquidity zones. There it is. So if we take a look at this, we have two zones down here on the map right now. One coming in right at the 786. That one's coming in at about 67,000. And then we have one sitting right below it right here. And that one's coming in at about 65.5 at the bottom side of that. Why I think these are interesting is that both of them have way more bullish liquidity there than bearish liquidity, and you can see that they're both green on that on the delta there. And then you have inside of those, you can see the bearish versus the bullish liquidity on the order books. So we do have that on the 4 hour. But if we take a look at the hourly real fast here, you can see that we have a lot of sell pressure sitting right here on this liquidity zone that is coming in right here. And that one is coming in, the delta on that is about 76,800. But we have a very, very bullish one. I want you guys to see here how small the bearish area is. The bearish area is right there compared to the bullish. Sitting at about 74,000, bottom side of that about 74.5. There is a lot of bullish buying pressure down here on the order book. So we may not even make it down to that 73,000. I just wanted to point that out. Shout out to Chart Prime on their liquidity zones, but it's definitely telling us something here. OC, let's kick it over to you. Let's see what you got look there on a request from our community for the alumni, and what's Moonwell.
Absolutely. Just want to do a quick overview here. I'm still there with you, Piper. My main entry is somewhere around 72K. This is for main entry at those bottoms and with the FOR, basically here, not losing the FOR, somewhere around this area. So going into the Moonwell here, seems like we do have a little bit of analysis. I believe that it was under 15 minutes. Let's just take a look at here to see if we can learn something about it, right? So it seems like we were into a range. Oh yeah, perfect. It played out perfectly there, and we have that fake out. Then we lost the range, and then we went for a free sweep of the lows to the dynamic reactor. Seems like it played out fantastic. So let me just clear that up, and then let's go all the way back out it here. So let me get started with the 4 hours. There we go. Let me also just adjust my view here. Perfect. For me, it seems like we are making right now a little bit of a triangle here. So this is what I'm going to be kind of looking at. In fact, I can just start kind of trying to cut out some wicks just to get a little bit closer to this area. So just remember, sorry about that we could be having a little bit of a threshold area. So for that, I'm going to be duplicating this one to clone it. And then I'm going to be doing also the bodies, right? So basically, this area would be either breakout area or re-entry area. And at the bottom, I do see a pretty clear, there we go, trend line right here. Let's make this, for the sake of difference, ready here for support. All right, so now that we already have this, what's next? Well, looking at the price action and volume, right? So it seems like we've been losing some momentum at the top, but also we've been gaining some momentum at the bottom, right? What I don't really like it is that it seems to me that we're having this rounded top or rounded dead cat bounce, right? We just need to be a little bit careful with this one because also look at what had happened here. We see that dead cat bounce also playing out right here on the volume. And despite we are on the zero line, and usually I would say, you know what, guys, this is time to start looking for a bullish entry. I don't know. Something doesn't feel good about this, which is this kind of like a dead cat bounce formation. All right. Still, this is a triangle, and a symmetrical triangle, it is usually unknown breakout. Let's go just for the median here, and that will be it. We actually don't need it in this time, so let's just remove it. So it is 50-50 chances. We are very bullish still, all right? We're about to break the range, so we're highly ranging, but about to break the range, right? It means that range. And I mean, we are the zero line. So I would say just wait out for the moving. And if we start piercing through this threshold area, wait maybe for the retest. And let's see what we learned from the previous trade, which was where was it? Well, whatever it was. But here it is. So we usually broke the range and went for a sweep of the lows, and then we start moving upwards, right? So going to the zero lining here, even below it right here, and then we came back up. So what I will be expecting at this point might be just waiting for it to go a little bit below this the zero line, so below water, maybe create a bullish divergence, and then start moving to the upside here. So just be careful. Once again, a symmetrical triangle, it is an unknown or 50-50 breakout. So we need to be very, very careful. In this case, I would not financially advise you to wait for the breakout and retest, right? As I would. But once again, this is not financial advice.
Awesome. Trade Fly. Let's go check in on the kids, man.
I'm back, man. They're all good. Getting ready. All right. What you want me to do another?
I got Sui up really quick. Somebody requested Sui.
Let's jump into Sui, and then I want to talk about this long squeeze before we head out of here over to the frat house. But yeah, let's check out Sui and just get a token ready. Whatever, we had several in the chat that was called out there. Let's jump over to FD White's charts and let's check out. Awesome, you got Doge. Let's go check out Sui. FD, what you got for us, bro?
Okay, yeah, I'll make it really quick so we can jump over to my guy Trade Fly. So Sui right now is testing the top side of this horizontal here at about $2.33. So I mean, a break of this, and then we enter that price discovery mode. So what I had to do was I came back here to the beginning of September and pulled this trend line up that we lost all the way back, like I said, from September 8th, and I just extrapolated it all the way up, so we can get some type of view of what we can look forward to, because once we get into price discovery mode, we're not going to have anything to our left. So I kind of drew this out. I like to do this before or when I'm trading. I like to draw out my scenario or my path that I would take if the price action goes like this. So I'm not forecasting what it does. I'm forecasting what I want it to do in order for me to jump in a trade. So that's the difference between what I'm doing here. So what I would like to see is a break of this all-time high at about $2.30, whatever it is, $2.33. Pull this trend line, like I said, get some type of rejection here, come back down to create this this higher high, as we go back to this that all-time high, and then reclaim this upward sloping trend line that we had back from the beginning of September. And usually I'm a reclaim trader. I don't know if anybody has been using this phrase, but this is the phrase that I'm coining as a trader, a reclaim trader. And I like to reclaim these these upward sloping trend lines. And then I think once we can do something like that, I think we're going to blast off. And I think Sui's going to $5. So if you can catch this move, and if we can reclaim this trend line, if you're not in the Piper Academy Discord, I'm going to put it there so you can have it on your radar. I think if we can reclaim this, it'll be probably coming in, somewhere between $2.60 to $2.80. I think we're going to blast off within the next few weeks for Sui. So that's just what I drew out. And that's something that a path that I would like to see. If it doesn't work out like that and we just blast right up, then, it just blasts right up. We'll take that too. But this is the scenario that I want to see. And I think Sui's, going to do well. And this is one of the things I talk about on the nightcap. This trade here with a little bit lower leverage can turn into more of an investment, a swing trade, a longer term trade rather than looking for an area to get out. Because I think once we, reclaim that, you put your stop loss somewhere, by this all-time high, the previous all-time high. I don't think it's going to come back that far. So that's something that's on my radar too.
I like that trade a lot. That's a good looking trade there on Sui, man. Trade Fly, what do you got? And then I'm going to come back. We're going to look at that long squeeze article. And then also we had a lot of comments here in the chat about CleanSpark being halted on Robinhood. I have the message, the comments and reply that was made by CleanSpark on why they were halted. We'll get into that as soon as we come back. Nothing bad with CleanSpark. We'll show you the details on that. Trade Fly, what do you got there on Doge, bro?
Right on. I got Doge on the daily. I'll keep it pretty quick here. You can see where a very interesting area is, and that's at about 20 cents. We talked about that. I did have that label on the chart. You can see how that's in red. We've talked about that. Why did I talk about that? It's very clear. Support and resistance right there. I see the wick off of that. You can see the rejection before it ultimately broke down. Key for me. So we had this big push up breakout. Hey, shout out to Chart Prime. I'll show you this in a minute. But that is this thing is phenomenal sometimes, and I'll kind of show you how I get into these trades. Or at least look at it straight. So let's come back left on the chart real quick. Let's just see, hey, is the support resistance over here? Yep, that all lines up with about 20 cents and 20.9 cents or so. But again, that's going to be a little bit of a range, but it was screaming rejection, right? And I'm not saying that, we can't reclaim that area. Not saying that at all. But again, you find these key levels, and what I say, you can take a 1 to 2% move off of that with a little bit of leverage. And usually it's a nice play. It's actually pulled back 5.76%. So great play there. But that's just one of the ways I like to try to take some of these trades. Now we're coming up on the value area high of the entire range, as well as an area of support. But I'm not going to get too wrapped around that. There's not a lot of volume here. Now this could build up as this comes down, retest this area, the value area high, flips resistance into support. Then, you could see volume build up here. And that would give you a little bit more of a warm and fuzzy that's going to hold up. But as of right now, I'm not, super, super keen on that level itself. The 20.9 is more important to me. And then you start coming down here and you start looking at this, right? So this is why I say Chart Prime for the win. And take note of this as well, about 12 cents. I just want you to take note of that real quick. Let's clear this up so you guys can see some things here. This area right here with all the confluence, that is where the golden pocket is. So you have the 200. You got the dynamic reactor. You got all kinds of good stuff down here. So take note of that. The golden pocket is down here at about 12 to 13 cents. And then this shout out to Chart Prime real quick. All right. Let's give them a small shout out because these indicators are fire. Gave you the breakout. All right. Now, I've told you guys before, it gave you the smart targets. It hit the smart targets right away. But what do I like to do? I don't like to enter this trade until we get the retest. All right. We get that OC retest. Then I feel more comfortable about entering these trades. And fire. Dude, this thing took off and went up to one of the key levels that we've had marked on the charts for quite some times. You guys can check the receipts on Crypto Nightcap if you wish. All right. So, that's a key level for me. We got to break that. Again, we've already made the move. So don't be like, oh, I'm going to go long now. Doge, like if you're in it, cool, you're in it. I'm cool with that. Just start watching some of these key levels if it pulls back. But now you got to wait. You got to wait. Are we going to come down and retest this area right here, which is the point of control for the whole range? You will see that this will continue to work its way up, right? Eventually, you're going to have some confluence. Some of these averages, some of the dynamic reactor, those things are going to start working up, build some confluence up here as well. So you got to let those things develop. But I think somewhere around 16 cents is going to be an area that we could see a bounce so we get a pullback. And that, let's go ahead and just quickly put a fib retracement on it just to see where that puts you. That's going to be kind of just on the north side of the platinum pocket. So I think definitely achievable, definitely reachable. That's a couple levels that I'm looking at for Dogecoin. I'd say be careful at this point. The move has been made. Don't get FOMO. Look for an OC retest over top of this level, but you do have some other areas, right? So even just up to 22 cents, it gets a little crazy in here, right? It's a little bit harder to distinctly, draw a horizontal with all of this going on. But what does that tell me? That's going to be a really tough area for price action to get through, but it's also going to be a very key thing. Like once we break through this, man, you're really going to start talking about bigger and better things for Doge. We're starting to talk about 32, 33 cents again. And Dogecoin millionaire will once again be a millionaire. Actually, I think he is time now, but that's a couple key levels for Doge right now. It's looking okay, but at the same time, we're testing some key areas. So be careful is what I will say. Caution is going to be the play of the day for Doge.
Yeah, it's proven once again, 10 cents is a great area to buy Doge anytime. It has proven to break out from that range over and over and over again. Let's jump over here before we head out, guys. I want to talk about Clean Spark real fast. So I saw BC Port Court commented that just trade on Webull. They never freeze it. This was frozen by NASDAQ. So Clean Spark comments on trading halt related to a clerical warrant conversion error. So if you guys don't know, warrants are basically like, we're going to buy at this price, right? And they put it into the system. There was a clerical error on it, and what that clerical error was from FIID, I believe, GRIID infrastructure, which is called Grid. They converted into Clean Spark warrants in connection with the company's acquisition of Grid. So if you guys don't know what Grid is, it is the company that Clean Spark was buying, and part of that deal was the conversion of some shares in connection with that consummation of the acquisition. Those warrants were to represent the right to purchase an amount of shares of the company's common stock at an exercise price of $165.24 for each full share. But when they did it, they actually did it erroneously. There was a clerical error where they put the current market price. And so because of that, it created some disparity between what they were actually buying and what the company would have coming in. And so they froze it until that error gets fixed. It had nothing to do with Clean Spark, and it was frozen across the board. So there you go. Don't worry. They're going to get that clerical error fixed, and then they will open up back to trading again with the correct numbers on those warrants. So let's look at this article here. 100,000. Yep, we know that. Bitcoin price. There's some interesting levels in here, guys. And so I just want to touch on this before we head over to Randy Hipper and raid the frat house over there with the frat mom. But Bitcoin price set to fresh all-time highs near 77K amid long squeeze fears. We're just going to scroll down here real quick to talk about this because we know where the price is at. It happened after the FOMC yesterday. Trading resource, the Kabisi letter said that the Fed pivot on interest rates could still be at risk if longer-term inflation trends were to pick up. But as of right now, I just showed you the sentiment from the consumer, Michigan consumer sentiment is up. So that people are feeling pretty bullish. But the high leverage liquidity risk, Bitcoin price squeeze, a long squeeze, if you will, which means that they're going to try to dump the price. Bitcoin showed little sign of concern over macroeconomic data as it set new all-time highs and its highest ever daily close. It was up 8% on that month to month at the time of writing. Looking here at the levels that they have on the heat map, we've already talked about those, around $77,000 there. But there is an area, it says, expecting a little pump before this overheating makes a correction. Trading account Crypto Mutant predicted amid. So, look for that $78,000 range there. That was what TradeFly was showing on the heat map. But in the case of a correction, the $72,600 level must hold to keep the sentiment positive. That's in line with the levels that we were also talking about that FD White and I were showing on our charts, and I believe TradeFly had those also. So if you guys don't know what a long squeeze is, it's a cascade of long Bitcoin liquidations before the weekly close. And they're thinking that is a possibility of what is coming. But again, 72,600 right there in line with what we were showing on our charts, guys, is nice platinum pocket down in that range, a lot of support in that range. And as long as we hold that 72.6, 72.4 range, I'm not overly concerned about a little pullback. Matter of fact, might even pick up some more alts at that point. So we are going into the weekend, guys, so be careful. According to this article right here, they said the best advice they could give right now is until this volatility calms down a little bit and they ensure that a long squeeze is not going to pass that 72.6 range. They suggest not trading. Hey, it's the weekend. Spend some time with your family and go touch some grass. That might be the best advice that you can get. And it's not financial. It is. It's life. It's life advice. Go spend some time with family this weekend. TradeFly, FD White. We'll start with TradeFly. Actually, we'll start with FD White. I always start with you, TradeFly. FD White, what do you got for the people on the way out, man?
Hey, man, thank you for having me, Piper, man. Thank you for, giving me the opportunity to come on a bigger platform. How we're probably going to talk, we talk all the time now. So it's, I always tell you how much I feel, how I feel. And, the whole alumni, man, appreciate you. Crypto Nightcap, we'll be back on Monday. OC, I appreciate you for training me on Chart Prime. I'll see you a little bit later. And alumni, we'll talk soon.
TradeFly, what you got for the people, man?
Hey, as always, it's a pleasure being here. FD, good having you on. And we will be at it again on Monday for the Crypto Nightcap. But yeah, man, it's awesome. I'm enjoying this, and I hope everybody is doing good on their trades. It's looking good right now. Again, just make sure you're starting to formulate that exit strategy or where you're going to realize gains. Take taxes into consideration in terms of long term, short term, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, this is cool, man. This is good times. This is good times for everyone. So it should be, a celebration. And I think Piper's on to it, man. There's one thing we are qualified for. We can give a little life advice, and going out and touching some grass is never a bad thing. Make sure that you have your priorities straight. Don't get too tied into the charts. There it is, man. He's got a prop. I love it. But there's life, man. There's life, there's family, and those things are definitely very, very important. And you got to have a balance. That's what I teach my kids all the time. Got to have a balance, and that will keep you going. So with that, happy Friday. You guys have a good weekend, and we will see you Monday.
Awesome. OC, what you got for him, bro?
Just a quick thank you guys so much for joining. I know we're running a little bit late, so let's keep it just straight up, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Take advantage of your time. Take advantage of what you're doing. If you're feeling a little bit underwater, don't worry. That's what we are here for. Come to the classes, to the show, and keep working on yourself, keep working on your strategy, and I promise you're going to start doing better. Always hard work gets good payback. Other than that, turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. Just so you guys know, I am still in my long. I'm holding my Bitcoin long. I took half profit. The other half is still back up 79.4% again. So that is my plan. I'm just going to hold my long this weekend. If it hits down to those levels, I'll look at buying back in some more on this and leverage this even higher. But as of right now, guys, enjoy your weekend. We appreciate you joining us here today on Piper Academy for the Morning Market Report, the #1 show on Piper Academy. I don't care what anyone says. And guys, we'll be back here Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before that, don't forget to pregame. Get your Morning Market Report from Good Morning Crypto, giving you that pre-morning data that you're going to need. And then next week, we're going to do it all over again right here at Piper Academy. We appreciate all of you guys. Have a great weekend. Have a fantastic Friday. We love you all, and we'll see you guys next week. Until then, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on running.
Pump those numbers up, those are rookie numbers in the
I know
bracket.
you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off to get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my love, now you know what I mean.
was awesome, dude.